Bad news for them. This is the second place man, however, Rob Fisher and Vince Butler. Now beginning to stretch out that advantage a bit, but charging hard in fourth place is Mick Boddice, number 19. There's Boddice, number 19 from Kidderminster. Mick Boddice and Dave Wells on the 700cc Iarson Yamaha. They're in fourth place and charging hard. Boddice also part of the Honda team and an Isle of Man regular. Mick Boddice having been in the sidecar game for many, many years, as indeed was his father Bill before him. Boddice in fourth. Then Steve Abbott and Julian Tailford, Grand Prix regulars, and the number 11 crew of Kieran Kavanagh is there in sixth. Fisher then, the rest closing up a little bit on Rob Fisher.
Really, the sidecar passenger has all the work to do, as I mentioned earlier. I was very fortunate to be giving
of them, then the cost could at least be split down the middle, but it isn't always the case. Normally the driver bears the brunt of the cost and foots all the bills. Webster, though, clearly away now, 10.5 seconds almost is the gap. And Mick Boddice, Abbott, Kavanagh all tailing on behind, but it's Rob Fisher, number 25. Here's the race leader, Steve Webster and Gavin Simmons on the Honda ADM, the four-cylinder two-stroke with Honda cylinders in the LCR chassis. With to do anything about getting closer. It's almost looks as though that's smoking very heavily, never mind just spray. The exhaust exits the machine just there on the right-hand side. I'm not totally convinced that all that coming out of there is spray. It looks as though it's smoking over heavily, Roger.
I would have to agree that the Suzuki engine of this machine, it doesn't sound particularly healthy either, and maybe the fact that it is a large capacity 1100cc is making up for the fact that it's misfiring.
Well, clearly it's taking oil into the combustion chamber there and getting oil inside the engine because it's smoking really badly. Could be that, well, Mick Boddice will be breathing that, of course. He's right behind. He'll be taking all that smoke in, so he will be under no illusion that there's a major problem with the engine of the number 17 bike and might just be sitting there waiting for it all to go bang. But a mixture of spray and smoke, and one lap just over, well, 2.5 miles of the circuit once they come over the line on the last lap. Will it go the distance? I don't know. It won't be punished too hard in these conditions. It's not as if he's wringing its neck all the way to the line. But Fisher now in second place, as over the line goes Steve Webster on his last lap. Rob Fisher will be the next to go over the line, but this man now with a 12-second advantage. Gavin Simmons hanging on for dear life, I think, is the right word in the back there. The platform will be very slippery, as will the handholds. The passenger will be under no illusion that should he fall out, then he'd have a major problem. The rules of the game say quite simply they have to go over the line together. Webster, Simmons, 12 seconds ahead of second place man Rob Fisher, with Vince Butler holding down the third wheel. Simmons throws his leg across the back, reaches down for that handhold, which is very low on the right-hand side of the bike. A tail ender ahead of him, but it's a mere formality, I suspect, to somebody of Webster's ability.
Yeah, Webster being our main challenger for the World Championship, in fact leading after the first round. He really is the man in form. He's not going to be beaten at all now in this race, barring a mechanical failure by Webster, but really has done a lot for sidecar racing and does deserve to do well.
Well and truly then on the last lap, as he goes over the top of Clay Hill. Steve Webster, Gavin Simmons in among the traffic again on this, the last lap, but they know they have a huge cushion. Well over 14 seconds now is the gap, but there's just a second between the third and fourth place men, and that's where the action is. Look at the traffic as Webster threads his way through. Vision for him, of course, will be a problem now. He hasn't had to encounter much in the way of spray for 2/3 of this race. But our checkered flag is out, and Steve Webster takes the win, 20 points. That sets his stall out very nicely for the British Championship, and they're pleased with that. Wouldn't have thought they would derive too much satisfaction from this. Second place, Rob Fisher goes over the line, a bit of a flick on the sidecar wheel. Trevor Robinson gets third, and still in fourth place, number 19, Mick Boddice. There's the leader and the winner, Steve Webster, Gavin Simmons. The championship round, Webster, Simmons, a good speed. Fisher, Robinson, and Boddice and Dave Wells. Steve Abbott came in, and Kavanagh and Stapleford brought up 6th.